Honestly, is a dream job for me because I'm passionate about it. I don't get upset about having to go to work every day.
Okay, this is Christine Dwyer, and this is one of the first people that what Beachbody allowed them to do really made me angry. And here's a perfect example, okay? Christine Dwyer worked for Shailene Johnson, and if you don't know who Shailene Johnson is, she's the creator of Turbo Jam and Shailene Extreme. She has a huge business with a ton of followers and a ton of fitness people. And basically, what this girl did was she used her connection to that business, which she was the person, she literally worked for Shailene Johnson and went to all these different events and organized these events. And she signed up all those people to be coaches under her. And this was one of the first people when, if you go back and see some of my other videos where I talk about these people who came in and went to like 2 and 3 star diamond coach in like a month, she was one of them. And she was one of the people that was named top coach. And like I said, at the time when she was named top coach, and I know this because I actually spoke with her at an event, she didn't even have very many customers because she'd only been in, like, literally in a month or two, she went to all the way to Diamond Coach. She didn't even know how the business worked, and she had this huge downline. So that was one of the things that infuriated me, was that the whole business here was supposed to be about helping people achieve great fitness results. And the business was kind of secondary. Here she comes in, brings all these people in from this already established business through her connections, through one of the professional celebrities and Beachbody people, and wham, goes right to the top of the charts. But you know what? She had never even worked with a customer or helped somebody. And I thought that was just totally disrespectful to all the coaches who were doing all the things that Beachbody asked us to do to help our customers. And then all of a sudden they allow these professional people in, and they allow these people in with these connections to the celebrities. And, bam, instant success. So that's her story in a nutshell. Nice person, but totally should never been allowed to happen by Beachbody. Just didn't go over well with any of the people in my downline, and all the coaches that I knew couldn't believe that Beachbody allowed her to do. Okay, so here is the Beachbody Coach Independent Earnings Statement, and this is from 2009. And if you look here, the first paragraph just breaks down for you that they get the commissions and the discounts they get. But here's the real important stuff, which is down here. So it's this is the coach earnings by rank, and here's what I really want you to look at. So the majority of the people involved in this are the rank of Emerald, as you can see, because the development and staff leadership percentage of. So here's the percentage. Percentage of all coaches, 8.7%. And the lowest amount of money that an Emerald made for the entire year was $15. Not very good, right? And the average earnings was $2,751. Which also really isn't all that much money in my book. That's about $229 a month, with the high end being $63,499. What's a little deceptive about this is it doesn't tell you the exact number, and without knowing exactly how many coaches it is, you can't tell how many actually made $63,000. And so of course it's going to be offset by these guys who make $15, which is going to bring the average down. But if the average earnings is only $2,751, you can be pretty sure there wasn't too many people that made $63,000. So let's look at the next rank. The next rank is Ruby, and it's about 1% of all coaches. So only 1% of the total amount of coaches that they have. And I believe at the time I was in, there was maybe slightly over 15,000 when I left. Less than 1% are even rubies. And so let's look at the low earnings, $139. Now it's probably for a person who made ruby and did absolutely nothing at all. And, but that's not very good. And then you look at the average earnings being about 9,000. Okay. $9,094, and the high earnings being $107,000. Keep in mind, this is the earnings, but it doesn't take into account all the things that they pay for too, which there's things that are mandatory to be a coach. You have your coach fees. You have to do a certain amount of volume every month, and it was at least $100 a month. So that starts chipping away at this average earnings, because you are paying for certain amounts of product and things that you have to do when you reach certain ranks. So then we jump up to diamond, right? So it's 0.7, not even 1% of the company makes it to this rank. And of that, the lowest amount made by a diamond was $485, with the average being $21,966. Okay, this was the rank I was. And I can tell you right now, I didn't make $21,966. I think my earnings might have been around $13,000. With the high end being $296,000. So, once again, excuse me, you can see pretty big discrepancy and variation there in the range, $21,000 to $296,000. Then we jump up to Star Diamond. Now we're all the way down to less than 0.2% of the people involved in this. And that's where you get your low end. You actually have Star Diamonds out there that are less than 2% who only made $5,000. Now, basically, it's probably people who got in. They may even be some of the founders who did absolutely nothing with the business and still managed to make this. But the high end being, some of those people, somebody made $932,000, the highest earnings. So, that's pretty good. It's almost $1 million. And I can guarantee you, this is where these 41 founders, they're falling in this range because they were lucky enough to be in from the beginning. So then you have coach retail sellers, which I guess are people that were doing nothing but selling retail. High end made $21,000, and the low end being an average of $447. And then here it says all ranks. So I guess if you add it all together, the lowest earnings would be 0. So you had some people out there that got involved in this and made absolutely nothing. The average earnings being $450 a year. Okay, so the average person that did this made $450. And the highest, once again, being that 932,118, which was probably only one person. So, keep this in mind when you get involved in this. Do you really think, are you going to be the high earner? Or do you think you're going to fall more into this average earnings? And not to kill anyone's thunder or enthusiasm for this, but, these are the real numbers. Look at these percentages, okay? Less than 0.2%, not even 1% are in this range. 0.7%, okay? 1% make it to Ruby, okay? So it's not a huge amount of people, and that's the thing here with this is as long as they have a few people that are making really good numbers, they can keep putting them out there and making these claims. And they're going to say, oh, they worked really hard. Like you saw the little, tiny writing that they flash up there real quick that says, oh, they worked really hard, or they did this and that. But you also have to keep in mind a lot of it had to do when they joined, when they got in, who they know, who their connections are with Beachbody, and what they do with Beachbody. So that's really the breakdown. And that's, how I see it. And, if you still think that this is the opportunity for you, then I say, good luck to you. But, take a good look at that average earnings and then determine how much work you want to put into it and go from there and make your choice. So that's the real dollars and cents. That's your coach earnings statement. And, just trying to shine a light on the reality of this and what you sometimes miss in the fine print or fail to read. Have a great day, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it enlightening if you were thinking and getting involved in this, and whether it made you decide that you still want to do it anyway, or whether it made you decide that it's not for you.